Dr. Willis. I'm pleased to present to you my interpersonal communication project. My prayer is that by the end of this presentation, you will have a beginning understanding of the tools that Liberty University's HSCO 508 course strives to equip the students with to enable future counselors and like professionals with to better serve its clients. You will learn of new terms such as overarching goals, interpersonal communication, enlarging the conversation, behavioral blends, potential barriers, noise pollution, internal and external, as well as how I will apply all these to my goals and plan of action to become successful. Overarching goal, OAG. An overarching goal, it can be described simply as the need to listen to others as well as be heard. From the time we start babbling as babies, we discover communication is a good thing, and we grow and expand our vocabulary, and we want to be heard. Have you ever seen a baby that has a lot to say but no one understands, so they may be ignored? What do? They get louder and frustrated. Adults are the same. We want to be heard. And what goes in hand with that so importantly is the requirement to listen. A basic need everyone has is to be recognized. Have you ever had a conversation with someone and you could tell they were not paying attention to you? Made you feel probably pretty lousy, huh? We want to be heard because what we are saying is important to us. So with that in mind, we have an equal obligation to hear what someone else is saying to us since they feel their words are equally important. We should always strive to ensure our communication is equal engagement with active listening and active speaking. So, what is interpersonal communication? According to Stewart, the main characteristic of interpersonal communication is that the people involved are contacting each other as persons. He also tells us that impersonal communication is like when we casually interact with someone, like the waiter in a restaurant. We have to talk to get our order taken, but we won't have a relationship with this person beyond our meal. With interpersonal, it is our conversation with persons we care about, our spouse, our children, our church family, and so on. We are going to pay a little more attention to what little Susie says as opposed to the grocery boy making small talk as he checks out our groceries. We want to develop better interpersonal listening skills. Enlarging the conversation. Peterson states that there are two levels of communication. Level 1 is giving and receiving information and discussing the points of view. Example, will you answer the phone while I take a break? All we care about is getting the facts and hearing a yes. Level 2 is when we take it deeper. He says it moves us toward more satisfying relationships. We develop trust, intimacy, and more personal sharing. Strangers become friends. It connects us at a level of feeling and spirit. Example, I am having a hard time. Will you pray with me? This is a time of soul bearing and wanting to have a closeness beyond facts, as in level 1. Enlarging the conversation can also be where we are forced to actively engage and perhaps do things we have never done or tried before. We may be uncomfortable doing so, but in doing so, we expand our ways of thinking and thus new ways to communicate. This can be from learning a new language, going to a foreign country, talking to that person you never really looked before at in class or at work. Step outside of stereotypes. That boy with the baggy pants may just be a straight-A student who likes baggy pants. Or the man with tattoos and shaved head may have just returned from 2 tours of combat and he is comfortable with his appearance. Think back to the movie Forrest Gump and how he was always trying to tell a story as strangers came and went on the bus stop bench. Some who listened and engaged found themselves enlarging their conversations with a man they might have had preconceived opinions about, while others who ignored him truly missed learning about a most fascinating man. Think about the snobby religious leaders who looked down upon Jesus as he told stories that were incredible and uplifting, and all they did was find fault because I dissected every word negatively. Their loss. Diversity describes our differences but does not explain why we are different. Personality types explain how we feel, think, and act as individuals. Identifying these differences is vital to understanding our behavioral diversities. Carbonell. So, let's examine something that I had never heard or participated in before. Behavioral blends. Carbonell used Hippocrates' 4 temperate models of human behavior and developed a self-assessment evaluation which I encourage everyone to use and examine themselves with. DISC Personality Assessment. This is an assessment that identifies 4 types of temperaments and these are blended to create a unique personality for everyone. The first step was to go to a website, Uniquely You, and complete a survey. That survey gave you insight into your personality and not just 1 but 2 blends that make you unique. The first is actually this is expected of me and the second one and this is me. I was actually shocked at the accuracy of the results when I was honest with myself. Some of the traits by the model are under D, which is active / task oriented or dominant, directing, driven, determined. Under I, which is active, people-oriented, influencing, inspiring, interactive, impressive. S, passive or people-oriented, submissive, sensitive, stable, servant. And C is passive, task-oriented, which is critical, cautious, calculating, competent, and compliant. My results. My expected blend was S/I, but who I really am is C/I/S. Below are the positives and the negatives I possess. Under positive, a people person, cheerful, strive for perfection, rule follower, inspiring, caring, fun-loving. But the negatives were passive, emotional, negative/critical, opinionated, fearlessness, not prepared, poor at quick decisions. Simply said, I smile when I read how others see me, the perfect people person, wows audience with my influencing and inducing presentations. Crowd pleaser, loyal friend, motivated to help others. I was feeling great, yay me. But my bubble burst with harsh reality when I read stubborn, spend too much time relating to others when I should be tackling difficult tasks or organizing my time better. Don't say amen, Dr. John. I need to guard against wanting everyone to like me. I need to be more conscientious and competent. I tend to compromise form and function for fun and fellowship. Wait, stop. I didn't want to hear these things. Those pesky potential barriers. What my survey said and what I mentally know, become stubborn when my stability is questioned, overprotective, doubt myself, interrupter, too sensitive. Physically, I lack sleep, I don't eat well, irritable, poor vision and hearing, and that E word, emotional. Fixing the bugs. How am I going to fix these things? I need to address my issues by realizing that I can't fix every problem. Allow persons to take some personal responsibility themselves. Rely on my faith that Jesus is always with me and wants the best for me. Stop telling stories. Not everyone's situation is the same as mine. Stop assuming everyone's feelings and thoughts. I need to take better care of myself because if I'm not healthy, how can I help? Learn to put my emotions in check. This is probably going to be my biggest challenge. Dealing with the noise pollution, or otherwise known as make it stop. Internally, cruel childhood, let it go of the past. Abuse, adulthood, forgive. Emotions, use in proper time. Physical pain, take care of myself. Family separation, pray, forgive, and ask for His intervention. Lack of self-worth, see myself as He sees me. External, cell phone, silence it. Personal appearance, be proud of my recent huge weight loss. Being female in male jobs, realize this is a big achievement. Age, God doesn't view age as we do. Environment, never judge where a person calls home. Something Peterson wrote about really stuck out to me. Don't wait until you love people to act on their behalf. Act on their behalf and you will come to love them. This is definitely true in listening. He went on to say that when he took the time to understand, it was a mutual benefit. My plan of action. Pray more and specifically. Allow people to make their own choices and not mine. Always be aware of others' differences. Stop being so emotional. Realize I don't have to always be the life of the party. I can enjoy it hanging out in the wall too. Allow people to talk and stop interrupting. Be more conscientious in all that I do. Work toward bridging broken relationships and loving those who don't love me. And pray some more. Jeremiah 29:11-13 says, lovingly, it reminds me that I alone know the plans I have for you. Plans to bring you prosperity and not disaster. Plans to bring about the future you hope for. Then you will call to me. You will come and pray to me, and I will answer you. You seek me, and you will find me because you seek me with all your heart. Amen. So, okay, maybe it'll take me a little longer with the emotional thing because that passage just goes in my spirit and overwhelms me. I am confident if I seek His face, He will allow me to love and comfort His people in the ways He wants me to. I appreciate this course and I have learned so much about myself, good and bad, and I am appreciative. Thank you and God bless.